Today in /malicious compliance. The day I did my job. So while studying my food service bar and barista level 3 certificate, I managed to get a job in hospitality, but starting out as a dishwasher, that would lead to an all-rounder. So bar waitress, barista, and dishwasher. Funny thing is, when I got my contract, the list of duties I got was legit a blank page. It had literally stated I was only a dishwasher. Anywho, my first 2 weeks of working there, the head chef was fired due to excessive drinking on the job. Having 1 or 2 was allowed, and she also came in completely high a few times. To top it off, she also kept taking breaks without communicating with the restaurant bar. These breaks were 2 weeks at a time. She got let away with doing this a few times because at certain stages she was running the damn business for the stuck-up owners. They were good people but very new to owning the business, so they liked when people were up there, but as I said, they were good people, just not good owners. One of them tried to sabotage someone getting a job elsewhere because the waitress tried to leave them. So after the head chef left, the cess took over but walked out after the first day of being in charge. We had to close the restaurant for 2 weeks until we could find someone to take over. We had a third chef, but he didn't want the responsibility. At the time I said to him, I can learn kitchen hand if they needed me. We also had to get another kitchen hand, and she ended up being my family friend who worked there in the past, so she knew how to do more things I could. Her sister came in to help any shifts her sister couldn't do. They also didn't get a contract stating this for an entire 2 months. When they found someone to cover being head chef, she came in act all nice and all saying things like she doesn't want to act like the boss, that this is a group effort, etc. She said all the right things, but she was told that I was hired to be a kitchen hand. No, I offered to help in kitchen, and I had not been shown a damn thing. She was okay at first with training me. It got to the point where I knew how to cook everything on the bar menu and was running a Monday by myself. Me running a shift I should have been on the bare minimum wage. I live in New Zealand, which doesn't do tips, and the minimum wage was $17.70 at the time. I was into my 3rd month of being there, and the head chef got annoyed over little things. She changed how to do some items on the restaurant menu and expected me to know what she wanted to happen. This 3rd month I was in a very bad mental state and was in tears multiple times a day due to the head chef words when she was stressed. Her words, anything she said during that shift says in that shift it doesn't roll to the next. 1. I work stupid split shift tours over lunch and then dinner. And she said a lot, but only to me. She started treating me like I wasn't worth her time to train, so she did just that. When we had a big day with bookings one night, her stupidity only put 3 people on, and the sales chef called in sick. So she tries both of my family friends, and one had a graduating party, and the other had already made plan. So it was just us. Now I was struggling because I knew the bar menu, but only half of the restaurant's menu. So the head chef actually yelled at me for not knowing something I wasn't taught and complained about me speaking back to her, which I was not. I was explaining what I was doing, and that's why I couldn't do what she said immediately. At the end of this shift, she yells at me saying I should do my fucking job. This is where my malicious compliance comes in. I turn up the next day, sat on the seat in the dishwashing area, played on my phone. My head chef came in and said, why haven't I done any prepping, cleaning, etc. Me, what do you mean I'm just doing my job? See, so why haven't you done anything? Me, because my contract has me stating I'm a dishwasher with no jobs because of a blank page. Are you serious? She said a bunch of profoundly inappropriate sentences. I cannot say
Let's just say they weren't nice.
I still got paid that day. After this, she kept overstaffing shifts, and guess what? I'm the first person she calls to have it off. Gotta remind this the other two kitchen hands both had other full-time jobs, and my stupid ass said yes to have it off cause I thought she had already rang the other two. The second time this happened, I was working over lunch. She said she over-rostered, and that I don't need to come in, and wanted to fight for my hours cause they kept getting less and less. Plus, the other two kitchen hands on that night were both at their other jobs doing Aether days, so me have it off me. The other two have been doing Aether shifts at their other job though, and this was my only job. Well, that isn't my fault. I came up with the roster before their other jobs. I backed down, frightened. Continued to do my work until a dessert order came through stating 2 cheesecake. I was told that they were meant to be a 2 Moses, but no change that on the docket, so 30 minutes later I went to make 2 cheesecake. Oops. Mistake found and corrected, but got to tell you I didn't know what a 2 Moses was taught. I asked her, but all she told me was it was cream, meringues, and passion fruit pulp. She also said there were 2 meringues in the chiller I needed to use first. Couldn't find them, did, however, find 2 small pavlovas. Lol. So I did up a meringue cream and passion fruit pulp dessert, but I apparently did it incorrectly. This time, he showed me what to do. Who knew it was meant to be in a water glass with crumbled pieces of meringue? And who knew that pavlovas was the same as meringues? I clearly was not told. I for the first spoke back and got a devil's scratch. I only pointed the fact that those pavlovas weren't meringues. Because of her yelling at me, I wound up in tears and walked out that day. Mind you, I have just turned 19, and this was my first experience in hospitality. I was so upset I drove to my sister's home. No one there went to my family friend's place. No one called them. They were in town, so we meet at my home. I live with my parents. My parents and my family friend's parents pissed off. My dad used my phone to call the owners and told them what happened. Owner 1. It was your daughter that wasn't listening. Everyone likes working with him. My dad, not sure if you understand our family, but we are very good friends with the other 2 kitchen hands. Parents, and they are in the living room saying that's not what we have heard. Owner then got quiet. I took them to small claims stating I was forced out of this position, and I got a hefty sum of money, and they had to continue paying me till I found a job. My friends then left shortly afterwards, and I've heard that the is now quitting because of many claims to her yelling at co-workers. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, subscribe, smash the bell, and whatever else our YouTube overlords require nowadays.